Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me? That would be a good start. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We've got like 30 viewers already. I'm hoping that I'm coming through loud and clear without any audio issues, so feel free to let me know in the chat. Very, very excited to be doing this stream. We can hear you. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Let's go ahead and change the scene to this beauty. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to a very exciting live stream this evening. It is currently 10:16 PM here in the UK. And we're going to be streaming the one and only Microsoft Flight Simulator, which, as you can see, we are currently in right now. I copy you at 5. Can we go Alicante? Right, okay, let me explain what's going to happen in this particular stream then. So, again, it's a very, very exciting stream. The countdown, the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which in my case is going to be at midnight tonight. So in about 2 hours from now. I'm extremely excited to be able to do this stream and to show off the simulator in the release build. And obviously I'd like to take a moment to thank my good friends over at flightsim.com and obviously the team over at Microsoft as well for giving me the opportunity from the very beginning to test out this amazing new simulator and get access to the Premium Deluxe version, which is obviously what we're in right now. So, I've been lucky enough to test out this simulator in the alpha stage, the beta, the preview build, and now the release. And again, we are literally hours away from the official release on the 18th. Now, in tonight's stream, I've got sort of like a pre-decided sort of plan. I've got that many different requests that unfortunately tonight I'm not going to be taking extra flight requests, simply because there are too many of them. However, if I can get my voice without coughing. However, feel free to ask me to show off certain features of the sim that you'd like to see. I'm hoping the areas that I've decided to show off are going to be of interest to everybody. And also feel free to ask any questions that you might have as well. I'm going to be showing the simulator obviously in all of its glory and exploring some really cool areas and features and stuff. So let's get straight in. I'm going to actually show everybody what settings I'm using. I think that's a pretty good sort of place to start, because for those of you who don't know, I have an i9 9900K which is currently overclocked at 4.7 gigahertz without any hyperthreading. I've also disabled the turbo boost feature because that has been well known to cause stutters, so that's one thing I've done. And if we go into the settings here, I've got 32 gigs of RAM and an Nvidia GeForce RTX, nearly said GTX then, RTX 2080 Ti. So let's just go into general, and I'm going to show off some of the settings. I am listening to everybody in the chat, I can see everybody, but I just want to get this little bit out of the way first of all. So, this is basically the settings that I use, or these are the settings that I use. They're a bit different to what I showed everybody in my previous video. And at what time on Steam, I've no idea. I don't know when it's going to be released on Steam. So these are the settings. So originally I used the high sort of preset here, but as you can see it's changed to custom. And the reason that it's changed to custom is because I've decided to obviously customize it. Now, an option that we didn't have in the preview build was frame rate limit, and it goes from 20, 30 and 60. That's the only options that are available. Obviously, I've set mine to 60. You can turn off the frame rate limit by just getting rid of VSync, but obviously I don't think we need to mess about doing that unless, you know, you've got like a specialized monitor or whatever. Do we have any liveries with the A320? I'm afraid not. There aren't actually any liveries that I know of that are released upon release, if you get me. But I think Microsoft and Asobo are working with people, you know, the different companies such as Airbus and Boeing and things like that, and the, you know, the different sort of companies to try and get their liveries. But nevertheless, we go back into the settings. So render scaling, terrain level of detail, and all these object level detail things, I've left at 100. I'm not touching those, I've left them as they are for now. Obviously frame rate is set to 60. Anti-aliasing, I'm using TAA, which is temporal anti-aliasing. It reads here that it provides the highest quality at the highest cost, but obviously it's a 2080 Ti, so we should be okay. Vector data all the way down to grass and bushes is set to high. The only thing that I've really got set to ultra here is volumetric clouds, and that's because I just love the look of the clouds. I previously had that set to high, but I've set it to ultra now, and I've changed the texture resolution as well from ultra back to high. I can never say this word, but anisotropic filtering is set to 8 times. Texture super sampling is set to 4 times 4. You can see that I've not really changed anything in terms of shadow maps or shadow quality. And texture synthesis, water waves, contact shadows, everything here is basically set to high. Bloom, I've turned it back on because there's a weird bug that if you look at the sun, it looks more like the moon without the bloom switched on. I don't know why that is. Depth of field is high. Lens correction, lens flare, and the use generic plane models at AI traffic, or for AI traffic, that is all switched on. So that's basically what I used to get that. I thought I'd get that out of the way because there's a common misconception among a lot of people in the flight sim community who seem to believe that these stutters that we're getting are a problem with people's computers, the actual systems, or there's a virus, or there's like some malware, or there's you know, something like that, or maybe like throttling. It's got nothing to do with that whatsoever. It is literally just the same thing that we've dealt with X-Plane, the same thing that we've dealt with P3D. It's an issue that over time will probably be ironed out. I know that hyperthreading being switched on can induce stutters, so it's a good idea to turn that off. And again, I'm not sure whether hyperthreading will be fully supported in the future. I'm assuming it will be. So they are my settings. That's the advanced settings, the display mode, everything. I'm using a 1080 monitor, 1080p monitor at 60 Hz. So this is the maximum I can run it at. I can't run it at 2K or 4K, unfortunately. Already released in France. That is amazing. I know some places have got it released already, so it's very exciting. A lot of people will probably be downloading this already. So, you know, all I can say is just look forward to it. It's a fantastic, fantastic simulator. So, as I said, unfortunately, in tonight's stream, I'm not going to be sort of taking flight requests because I've got too many. I would sit here until like 5 o'clock in the morning otherwise, and I would never get any sleep. And that's very difficult when you've got 2 kids to look after, so let's get into it. So, first of all, we've had a look at the settings and everything, and we've done that. I will mention that I found running other programs, such as Little Navmap or Sim Toolkit Pro, or anything that uses SimConnect, for some bizarre reason, appears to cause stutter as well. That can cause it as well. So with that out of the way, let me get into what are we actually going to do in tonight's stream. So we're going to be doing a flight, first of all, in the Cessna 172 around Rio de Janeiro. Is that the right way to pronounce it? I hope it is. Showing off some of the amazing scenery around that sort of area. Can you do a landing challenge? Yes, I'm going to try and do some of the landing challenges as well towards the end. Is it on Xbox? At the moment, no. It's not on Xbox at the moment, but it's going to be. Is this pre-recorded? No, this is not pre-recorded. I'm sat here speaking to everybody and answering questions, so unless I'm very good at predicting what people are going to ask, no. So, again, we're going to start at Rio today, showing off some of that amazing scenery around Rio, and the actual airport itself is one of the handcrafted airports that comes with all versions of the simulator, as standard. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Is it released? Not yet. Well, in some countries it is, but in the UK it doesn't release until, I think it's midnight or something. That's what it says in my Microsoft store anyway. I'm sure it said midnight. Maybe 11 o'clock, I don't know. So that's where we're going to start off. We're going to start with Rio. And then we're going to be taking the TBM 930 to check out Aspen, Pitkin County Airport, which is Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. It's a beautiful area of the world. And again, Aspen is one of those airports that... let's just discard those settings a minute. Aspen is one of those handcrafted airports that comes with all versions of the simulator as standard. We're going to try and do a few circuits around Aspen and then obviously return back to the airport. We're then going to jump over to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, Yankee Bravo Hotel Mike, and we're going to do that in the Icon A5. And I've never flown the Icon A5 before in the simulator or obviously in real life, so it's going to be quite fun to learn. Hopefully we get to show how well the Great Barrier Reef area of the sim is portrayed as well. That'll be portrayed, should I say? That'll be pretty good. And then finally, as we've already received a lot of requests, we're going to be taking a look at some of the missions and activities in the simulator if we've got time, which again, that's going to be stuff like landing challenges and stuff like that. So there we go. With that out of the way, let's get into the sim. So, as I said, the first flight we're going to do today is from Rio de Janeiro, which is Sierra Bravo Golf Lima. So let's go to the world map. So we'll go to Sierra Bravo Golf and Lima. And we're going to be taking the Cessna 172. So let me just type in 172. I love how you can select the aircraft like this. We're going to use the G1000 version of this particular aircraft. And just for the sake of it, let me set this up. And we'll put Yorkie 26 Bravo. Oh no, we can't do that. 26 Bravo, there we go. What country are you from? I am from the UK. So we come out of that. We want it to be in daytime, really. So what time is it over there? It's 6 PM. Let's change that to about 11 AM. And we'll put live weather on as well. So here we go. I'm going to click fly now. And we're going to get straight into the sim. So this is going to be Rio in the Cessna 172. We're going to have a really good look round. So is the audio balance okay? So obviously my voice versus the sim. I mean, I'm assuming you'll be able to tell that a little bit better in a moment when we've got the engine sounds. And we'll soon find out whether it's loud enough or not. Or too loud, for that matter. My dad had a yoke, but he left it in another country. Wish I had it, we'll have to use a controller. Yeah, so one of the videos that I'm actually going to be making eventually on the channel is showing off how easy it is to use sort of an Xbox controller. Purely just to control the sim. So I'm going to go in, and I'm just going to... What I'm going to do is synchronize the heading. I always do this. I'm going to set the initial altitude to 1500 feet. Flight director on, heading on, vertical speed. We'll set the vertical climb speed to about 600 feet. We're not going to go into too much detail about starting the aircraft up. One thing I do want to look at is how detailed the aircraft actually is. I mean, all the way until, you know, we zoom in a little bit here. The buttons, the displays, everything looks really, really nice. And that is one thing I've been looking forward to. Is, I mean, look at that. Even the Skyhawk logo there. We zoom right in. It's very, very detailed. And you can toggle the yoke visibility as well. Which, there we go. I was worried then. I didn't think we could get it back. Yokes are like rocking horse poo at the moment. Yeah, oh, they are. There's a lot of people that are after yokes and things. So let me just turn up my own volume here on the headphones so I can hear what's going on. And if we take an external look at the aircraft, Rio is, again, one of these airports that is included in the simulator, I think. I'm sure it is. Although, I can't see much detail. What we might do is, we'll go to the showcase view, and we'll have a look around. Have you done any bush trips? I hear they are challenging. I've not actually tried the bush trips yet. I really do want to, but look at those clouds. Look how amazing this looks. And just, you know, I mean, a lot of people have said the maps aren't perfect, but to be honest, I don't really care. Look at this. Just look at everything. That's my favourite saying right there, is look at everything. And one of my favourite aspects is this water. And if we go right down, just look how detailed the water is. It is absolutely magnificent. So this is all looking good in terms of the runway. We've not actually seen the terminal yet. Here we go. Let's travel over here. It's a little bit slow. I should have sped it up a little bit, to be fair. And we'll have a look at the terminal. I mean, this is supposed to be one of the handcrafted airports. I've never been here in real life, so let me know how accurate this seems. Maintenance, or TJD, Maintenance Engineering. And we can look at the vehicles down here as well. A lot of people have said that the cars don't... Oops. The cars don't really look that good, which they don't. But they're not terrible. I mean, especially when you're going to be at, like... Even at this height, things look a lot better. So I wouldn't say, really, there's much of an issue. But look at that. The weather in this simulator is absolutely just magnificent. I don't think we've ever seen something as nice and as nice looking. So we've got another car park over here with some buildings. I don't know what's going on here. It looks as if they've forgotten to take out an aerial image of an aircraft, which was obviously parked there. Yeah, Rio is a standard edition handcrafted. Yep, it is indeed. And I think they've done a fantastic job. I mean, obviously, like I said, we've got the little problems such as this. But, and maybe like the roof of this building is just, I mean, that's just terrible, isn't it? But overall, I mean, it's sort of okay, isn't it? I mean, if you're at this height or altitude, if you go up a little bit further up like this, you can't really tell. A friend of mine was on the fence about getting the sim. I showed him how you can see the light from a TV inside the houses. He pre-ordered the game right after that. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I showed that off in one of my YouTube videos, and I could not believe like the little bits of detail such as that you wouldn't expect in a simulator. It's really unreal. So let's have a look over here then. What we got over here? Obviously, I'm not just gonna zoom straight into the air. I thought we might as well take a look at the airport and the surrounding area. For those of you who are wondering, the FPS value, or the FPS is down there in the bottom right hand corner. But these are sort of some houses here. We've got some weird artifacts on the water, which I'm assuming is just, if you go up, obviously you can see that's what Bing Maps would probably have seen. But it's not been modelled, whatever it is. Maybe like a jetty or something for boats. You showed off the TV light. Yeah, I remember that actually. Settings. I did go over my settings at the beginning of the stream. Apologies, I don't actually know how many people are watching this, but at the beginning of the stream I did go over my settings, and I will go over them again a little bit later on. But yeah, so we're just taking a look around, sort of, you know, the area at the moment. Let me just speed up the camera. Absolutely love the drone camera. That's not much different, really. It's a little bit quicker. So, here we go with another little bit of a built-up area. I don't actually know where I am. I've got a little nav map on this screen, but it doesn't show you the movement, like the moving map for the drone camera. It just shows you the aircraft. But you can see, I mean, if you were flying at sort of like this altitude, you can't really notice much in the way of, you know, stuff that's wrong with it. It's only when you go down and have a look like this close, for example, that things start to get a little bit blurry. But apart from that, I mean, we've got traffic there as well. We've got a lorry, which appears to have no wheels. Oh no, it does. It's floating, that's why. That's strange. The Steam website's gone down. I am not surprised. There are probably a plethora of people. FPS with heavy aircraft. We'll have a look at that in a little bit. We're not going to be doing any... I was going to feature like the 787-10, which we probably still will if we've got time. And obviously the 747, I'm going to take a look at that. But I've not really planned any major flights in those because I want to get up close and personal with the scenery and to have a fly around in VFR. So I think that's one of the main things about the sim is we can do that. I mean, look at the detail on there. At the rotating beacon there. So here's where we see more of the detail. This is more like it. I didn't even... This just goes to show how bad I am with geography. I had no idea that this was over here. Look at the people. 3D people. 3D animated people. Is that Gary or somebody? I don't know. From GSX. I know GSX might be coming to the simulator as well. That's going to be a major upgrade. I really don't like the default pushback. But look at this, how detailed this is. We've got AI traffic on as well, so that's going to be fun. But it just feels alive. I mean, look at the animations and stuff. That's why third-party devs are so involved. Oh, definitely. Definitely. A lot of people were saying, oh, FS 2020 when it comes out, Orbex no more and this no more. And I thought to myself, obviously they're going to do something for the sim. You know, it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be stuff that needs to be done to the simulator. Can someone please confirm that Xbox Microsoft Flight Simulator version? We don't know anything about the Xbox version. I don't think it will be available yet. Oh wow, that was a car starting up. That is amazing. That is amazing. Look at the detail on that. The wheels actually turn. The startup sound as well. But that is basically it. If you let the AI controlled comms and let it assist with checklist, the pushback is great. Even stops for you automatically. Oh wow, I didn't actually know that. But this is it, people. This is Rio de Janeiro. If that's the right way of pronouncing it. I probably just insulted somebody in the chat, surely, with my pronunciation. A handcrafted airport. And this is why I wanted to do... it's out on the Game Pass, my friend has it. Oh, right. This is why I wanted to do this style of video, which is just include a lot of the airports that are built into the simulator or handcrafted airports that come with it. Obviously, this is the Premium Deluxe version. But look at the detail on this. That looks absolutely fantastic. Look at that. And we'll take a look at some different weather as well. Look at those clouds. So this is what we're going to be flying through, basically. We're going to be doing sort of low altitude, 1,500 feet. We've got an aircraft over here. Looks like it may possibly be coming in to land, or maybe departing from another airport that's just over there. But anyway, let's go back. We'll reset the position. Whoa, that was a bit stuttery. Go to the cockpit view. And with the controller, the Xbox One controller, which I've currently got connected, as well as my joystick and throttle, you can use the right analog stick to look around. And the left analog stick would obviously control the yoke, but I prefer not to use that because it's very, very sensitive, and obviously I've got the joystick. So, there we go. So, without further ado, let's reset the view, and I'm going to release the parking brake, and we're going to depart. I don't even know what runway we're on. Hopefully one that works. Check out the AI checklist. Yeah, the checklists are really good. I've tried them out. It's just I'm too lazy to actually start in a cold and dark state. I just want to get straight into the sim. Right. Not an expert on the Cessna, so I've no idea whether I just did a very dangerously slow takeoff or not. But there we go. Now the stutter, again, this is something which is more than likely a result of this, which is Little Nav Map. But I'd rather have Little Nav Map installed and sort of running. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. You forgot to make a video into... Yeah, I didn't forget, it is on my list, but unfortunately I've got that many different videos to make. It is absolutely unreal. You would not believe the amount of videos and requests that I've got to do, and I will get round to doing them even after the simulator's released. So I will eventually go through the entire spreadsheet, yes, a spreadsheet that I've had to make to contain everybody's requests. Will we see free liveries? I've got no idea. I'm assuming that the liveries will be the same as, especially for like P3D, where we have the PMDG liveries. I'm assuming it will be easy to install them from there. One of the hardest things to do is mess up in the 172, literally the most reliable play. Yeah. The stutter could be caused by the game bar. The game bar's disabled. I've gone through that and completely disabled the game bar. And yeah, it's been an issue with the alpha, the beta, and the preview build as well. We had issues with that. But look at this, absolutely gorgeous. And this is mainly set to high. The only thing, remember, that is set to ultra are the clouds. Geneva, yeah, that is on my list as well. Again, I'm not going to be taking requests in this video, purely because I've got too many, and I really do not want to be sort of getting anybody's bad books and say, you know, people saying, you forgot this, you forgot that. So I thought if I just do sort of a pre-planned stream, we'll be fine. So let's take a look at the external view, because this is also one of my favourite views. Look at this. How wonderful is this? And obviously, we can change the time of day if we wanted to, so let me go up. And I can also undock this particular screen to my second monitor. The problem being that now the FPS counter will start to double. Or maybe not. But here we go, let's change the time of day just like that. And we're still getting like 58 FPS. One thing that annoys me is people are sharing videos that are like, oh, this is 4K ultra settings, but guess what they're doing through the entire video? An external view. Everybody knows that when you're in an internal view, the frames go down. So that's the true sort of definition of whether or not the sim runs at 60 FPS in 4K, which it doesn't. But there we go. There's no GPU, in my opinion, that will be able to do this simulator in Ultra inside the cockpit with add-ons. One thing I am going to do is change the weather. Oops, I did have that up, but now it's gone back down. There we go. To clear sky, because I want to see how amazing this looks. That's better, isn't it? Let me just pull back a bit on the throttle. And we can look out the window again. Where are you from in England? I am from a small town, very, very close to the outskirts of Doncaster, in South Yorkshire, which is right next to Doncaster Robin Hood Airport, which is my local airport. But look how stunning this sim looks. Only the Nvidia 3000 series, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. There is literally no GPU out that can handle 60 FPS in 4K. Absolutely. That's what annoys me about people, is when they say, "Oh, I've got it running in this." No, you haven't. not inside the cockpit. In an internal view with add-ons and things like that. No, you haven't. But look at that. And obviously now, we could change to like maybe early morning. And where's the sun gone? It's over there somewhere. There we go. That is absolutely beautiful. Although, what on earth has just happened? Oh, there we go. Big lag spike. That's what happened. I was very, very worried then. I thought, is this actually going to freeze? Or is it going to crash to desktop? But luckily we're okay. Jacob, don't spam the chat, please. We're not doing requests in this video. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Let's just turn left to the east. Trying to keep within this area. Look at that view. This is tremendous. The sunshine, see the bloom, I turned the bloom on because with it off, for some reason the sun looks like the moon. It's got like no sort of brightness around it, which that's one thing I've learnt really, that's basically what bloom does. But this is how beautiful, look at that, the reflection there off the front of the aircraft. But this is what it is, this is how beautiful the simulator looks. Sorry, but why aren't you running on max settings? I'm not running on max settings because I don't need to run on max settings. And running on max settings can induce stutters. We've just been talking about how a lot of people are claiming that you can get max settings on this, max settings on that, but actually no, you can't. You can. It's not as if you physically can't. But I like to have good performance as well, which at the moment we're doing pretty good. But absolutely gorgeous, look at this. So just for a laugh, let's go up here and change the weather. Let's go to snow. See what snow looks like. Oops, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Now I can't see anything. I wasn't expecting it to be that intense, but look at that. You can also change the level of like clouds and stuff, I suppose. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love how the mountains and everything and the ground is literally just covered in snow. And let me go inside the cockpit, you can see the icing effect as well. But that looks absolutely magnificent. Let's go to broken clouds. And you can see the snow is still there. It lasts a little while, because it's recently been snowing. Do you know if it releases at 12? I'm sure it's in the UK, it's 12 o'clock. But I'm not sure. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's go back to live, and we'll take the time back to like 1:43 PM in the afternoon. Did you change your settings since the last video? I certainly did. I've toned a few things down and a few things up. Another lag spike, look at that. But the weather is really, really good. We'll try rain, because I like rain. The effects on the windshield are amazing. That's if it actually does it. Doesn't appear that it's going to. But the windshield effects are really good as well. What PC have you got? It's all in the video description. Let's go back to clear skies, because we can see everything better from there. As we fly over Rio. Absolutely beautiful. Hello, I'm a big cloud that blinds you. Yeah, definitely. Sounds about right, doesn't it? So, yeah, so the lag spikes. We do get a lot of lag spikes, and if you look at a lot of other videos out there of the simulator in different versions, lag spikes and stutter have always been something that's been quite common. So one thing I am going to do now, I'm going to go back into the showcase camera. And we're going to go right up and look at the views that you can get close up of the aircraft with the autofocus switched on. Thank you, Mr. Yorkies, for this stream. Absolutely no problem at all. Are you using Track IR? No, I'm not. I'm not using Track IR. That's a nice view. No, I'm not using Track IR. I was considering it because I really want to see what that's like. Anyone know the resolution? It's 1080p. Can you show your settings and FPS? The FPS is in the bottom right, and just for the sake of argument's sake, the settings are mainly high, with the only thing being on ultra being the clouds. Absolutely amazing. So what time, for the people in the chat that are in the UK, or in fact anybody who can look this up, I'm sure it says midnight, as in 12 o'clock for the UK release of the simulator, but just if you can just check and let everybody know in the chat, because I'm sure there's a website that you can go on for like a time zone converter or something that I used to use, but there we go. Have you tried 1440? No, I'm actually using a 1080 monitor, so I wouldn't be able to use that resolution. And the higher the resolution generally would mean the lower the FPS and more stuttering, so I would prefer to just stick at this resolution for now until updates and fixes come out. So let's make another turn then. And we're going to attempt this time to... we'll go to about 800 feet, vertical speed, and we'll begin our descent. Yeah, it says midnight on the Microsoft Store. Right, perfect. Yeah, so just so we know, really. So it looks like runway 28 is the runway that we're going to be landing at. Again, I'm not a perfect pilot when it comes to the Cessna. Please try an ILS approach. At the moment, we're just going to be doing VFR. Yeah, I'm not a perfect pilot, so I'm going to probably do things wrong, but there we go. I'm not really bothered. It's all fun. So let's turn to the west now. And I'm going to set the first notch of flaps. How much was your PC? Probably in the region of about 1,800, something like that. I've added to it since, so it's difficult really to say just how much it was. Now, if you look on the ILS feathers here, we are basically dead on for runway 28, so... Although visually that's not the case. I'm going to take control of the aircraft manually. And we'll try and have a good laugh at Mr. Yorkie trying to land the Cessna. For those of you who want to know my specs, I'm sure if you put !specs into the chat, I'm sure I set something up so that you should be able to get like a readout of my specs. But look at that. So we're going to land here, and then we're going to check out Aspen in the TBM. It's another handcrafted airport. There we go, Streamlabs has put the specs in. Another notch of flaps. You should fly over Gold Coast, Australia. Yeah, I've got that on my list. I've got a massive spreadsheet that is literally just full of things that I need to do, like videos I need to make. So this is going to be an attempted landing. Hopefully everything will go well, and once we land we'll have a little bit of a taxi around. That's 500 feet. Looking decent on the Pappy, it's a little bit high. Try and shave some of that altitude off as we get a bit closer. There we go. Still need to work on the sensitivity of the joystick. Butcheress with a 737 would be nice. Yeah, the 737 at the moment is not has not been released, I don't think. Is this the last 3 minutes of fame here? No, basically what it is we're going to land and then do another flight around Aspen. Right, so let's idle the throttles. And let's see if we can't plant this thing in the ground. There we go. What flight controls are you using? I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS 1, or HOTAS X, I think it is. Well, there we go. We're on the ground. What is your internet speed? I usually get about 60 megabits per second download, and upload is about 15 megabits per second. So not amazing, but I do have the rolling cache switched on. You should land at San Francisco with the 747. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying that in future videos. Nice landing, you nailed it. Thank you very much, I really do appreciate it. Again, I'm used to flying heavier aircraft. So, to land and to actually make a decent landing, let's just put the flaps up actually. Make a decent landing in a light aircraft such as this. I'm happy with that. But that is it. That is basically the first landing complete. Or the first flight complete, really. But I still cannot get over how lovely the simulator looks. It looks really, really nice. Even the ground textures. Look at that, if we get closer to the ground. Just look how detailed it looks. I mean, you might not be able to tell on the stream because it might be a little bit less detailed, but... there we go. So... let's have a look and see if we can just increase the range here. There we go, we've got like a map of the airport now, so that's better. Okay, so it's launched, so it's 11 PM. I'm not sure where it's launching at 11 PM. But you guys are absolutely going to love this simulator. It is probably the most advanced simulator I have ever used. And believe it or not, I am sat here with a beer doing this stream in absolute awe still, even though I've used the alpha, the beta and everything else. I am just in absolute awe. Right, okay. So, that's the first flight complete. So the next one we're going to be doing is actually going to be Aspen in the TBM. ICAO code Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. So let's just go to the main menu. So it's an hour, everybody. 60 minutes, in fact, no. Less than 60 minutes now. Until the release in the UK of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's go to World Map. And we're going to select the TBM, so let me go and type that in. TBM, we've got Yorkie26 Bravo again. And we're going to go to Aspen, which is Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. Again, this is another one of the included airports. Let's go to live and see what time it is. So it's 4:02 PM at the moment in Aspen local time. One thing I love is this map, because the more that you zoom in, the major airports are sort of, you know, or the more major ones are displayed when you zoom out. Sort of, for example, Minneapolis. We've got Regina, is that how you call it? Is that how you say it? Salt Lake City. But if you were to zoom in, it then shows more of the smaller airports, even down to this, which is, look, Westwater, which I've no idea where that is, but it's just like a little landing strip by the looks of it. So there we go. But we're obviously going to be at Aspen, Pitkin Co/Sardi Field, if I have no idea. But let's have a look. So Aspen in the TBM 930. Let's do it. Servers are going to be slammed tonight into tomorrow. Oh, absolutely. I can imagine that literally for the next few days, it's going to be unreal. You know, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable. Pitkin County. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's the way to pronounce it. Pitkin County. Thank you for the Captain for the amazing stream. No problem whatsoever. My pleasure. Right, so here we go. You can see when you load in, things tend to sort of automatically load in as well. So it tells you all the information here about the TBM, the range, the endurance, the max altitude, cruise speed, and this is like a cinematic thing here that's going on. It will automatically taxi onto the runway. How did you get little nav map to connect to MSFF? Well, basically, I'm assuming you've got to be on the right version of it, but I just downloaded a little nav map, and I think it automatically detects like the SIM connect and just connects to it automatically. So ready to fly, but obviously we're not. What the hell is that? There we go. Let's take a look first at the aircraft. at the TBM. So let's have a look at the inside. Again, I'm not a real-world pilot, so I've never seen this particular aircraft up close or anything like that. But I suspect that it's pretty accurate based on what we've heard. But look how detailed like the interior is, down to the look at that, right, like really close. Oops, not into it, but there we go. It's so detailed. I mean, there's a little bit of sort of like jagged edges there, but the rest of it is pretty good actually. It worked. Change computer time to Australia. But I just love how detailed these aircraft are, even down to sort of like the warning signs and stuff. Greasy substances are capable of spontaneous combustion on contact with oxygen. Do not smoke while oxygen is in use. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's have a look on the exterior now. We will use the showcase camera. Or the drone camera. Again, we're at Aspen, which is a handcrafted airport, so we'll have a look around the airport as well. But look at this. I think this is where, if you guys can remember, when the sim was revealed, there was like a shot of this aircraft like really close up to the propeller. And it was like in a hangar or something, and look at that. This is how they got that shot. TBM is a great plane. It really is. Up until now, I've never really used any light aircraft, apart from the Cessna. But when, obviously, I got access to the simulator, immediately I started checking out the lighter aircraft and things. So let's have a look at this. This is a custom or handcrafted airport, apparently. So we've got the car park over there. For those of you who live in or around this area, you will probably know whether this is accurate or not. Specifically if you've flown to or from this airport or been to it. We've got some coaches, which look okay, really. I mean, they look quite detailed. Let's just dock this screen to my second monitor a minute so I can slow down the drone speed just so I can have a look around a little bit better. Although that's not really slowed it down at all. Let's just do it a little bit more. There we go. So that they both say number 30 on them on the back of the bus. The lights are obviously not very well modelled. They look a bit blurry. It's got like a interior to it by the looks. Yeah, it has got an interior. Not very detailed, but obviously better than nothing. And here is the airport itself. So again, we've got some of these vehicles here which we previously saw at Rio, that they seem to start up and start driving around on their own, which is a pretty nice feature. This is Gary from GSX. Obviously it's not from GSX at the moment, but look at that. You can even zoom in on the actual people. Oops, that's his face gone. Quite detailed, really. I mean, you're not really going to want to look this close up when you're sat there doing a real, like a flight, but if you wanted to, you can actually see. It's quite detailed. So this is the entrance to the airport. Joseph, if you type exclamation mark and specs, not question mark, it should bring up the specs, and just give it a few seconds. So how many viewers have we got currently watching the stream? Let's take a look. Having trouble loading it at the moment. 429 people are watching this. Oh my god. Thank you very much to each and every one of you for tuning into the stream. For those of you who are just joining us, we are at Aspen at the moment. Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo, and we're just checking out the scenery up close and personal. Is this really FS 2020? Yes, it is. It really is. I can guarantee it. But stuff such as the like the cargo, I mean, look how detailed that is. It's not amazingly like 4K Super HD, but it's good enough. If you're like at this distance, you can read every word. Put snow on for Aspen. That is a good idea, actually. Why didn't I do that in the first place? Let's do a little bit of snow. And I'm going to sort of raise these clouds a little bit. Or the low-level clouds. You can customize it quite a bit. Look at this. Just increase the drone camera speed. Look how gorgeous Aspen looks. It looks absolutely fantastic. We've got the snow, we've got all the effects, the clouds. You're getting 60 FPS with a 2080 Ti and the 9900K at 1080p. Absolutely. But bear in mind, this is an external view, and I am not using a heavy aircraft. I think that's where a lot of people have got mixed up. Everybody thinks, oh, you know, why aren't you getting 4K 60 FPS? I can do that. No, you can't. And not when it comes to sort of the add-on aircraft that are going to be available for this. I would love to see somebody get 60 FPS in the virtual cockpit view at a heavy airport with a PMDG, you know, aircraft. That's when things are going to get fun. Paolo the Swedish, what are your specs? If you type exclamation mark and specs, it will come up and show you all the specs in a few seconds. So that's it really. This is Aspen. We're going to take off in the TBM if I can actually... Why don't I just do this? If I go to reset position on that, just for the sake of it, and then go to the cockpit view, like so. So when I'm panning around like that, I was using the Xbox One remote or controller, just in case people didn't know. Right, so I'm gonna put some aircon on. Actually, let's turn the temperature up because it's snowing outside. And with this particular flight, we're actually going to do some hand flying. I'm not going to go in there and turn the autopilot on if I can help it. But there we go. Now, do we have... This is an example of me not knowing this aircraft very well. Do we have anywhere... Right, that is set... The hot airflow is set to heat up the windshield. But is that enough? Is there any sort of anti-ice that I need to switch on? Let's have a look up here. Because I've got a funny feeling that we are indeed going to need anti-ice. And I don't know whether this has it, this aircraft. Or if it does, I've no idea where it is. But it's very detailed. You can go back all the way back here if you wanted. Take a look out of the window. That's a nice view. Even the seats are very detailed. Right, okay. So I do like the checklists as well, if people want to see the checklists. Each one of the stock aircraft will come with a checklist. So we've got takeoff checklist. All these have obviously been done because we set up spawning on the runway, so all these had already been done. We will go through these in a little while, but obviously if you click on one like takeoff, that will basically set everything that needs to be set for takeoff. I am literally the ice. Bottom left. Bottom left. Alright. Ah, there we go. Perfect. I'm going to switch all these on. Just for the sake of it, because I don't really fancy being iced up. How do you find the specs? I'm sure I said, Paolo, if you type exclamation mark and specs, it should come up with the specs. Right. I've just set... Why have I done that? There we go. Right. Let's take off. In snowy weather. Now, is the plane going to sort of veer to the side? And sort of slip a little bit? I should imagine so. As a beginner, can I get in an A320 and fly it all started up? Yeah, you can if you want. You absolutely can. Right. So I'm going to consider ourselves going for gear up now. And we're going to take a look. Look at this. So this is the external view. I'm not sure whether you can hear me very well, because it's quite loud. Maybe sort the pitch out a little bit. And the trim. But here we go. I mean, look at this. Absolutely magnificent. Looking beautiful. How did you get it early? I got it early through Microsoft. Obviously, I am good friends with the team over at Microsoft and flightsim.com, and I was very lucky to be provided with a copy of the simulator. Auntie, please fly around Auckland. We're not doing requests in this video. We're literally just doing a predefined sort of flight sort of plan. But look at this. This is hand flying the TBM, which again, I'm not an expert, and we've not got perfect visibility, so in a minute we're probably going to end up smashing into the side of a mountain, which will be quite fun. Let me just work on that trim again. So I apologise if I'm not responding to everybody at the moment. I am hand flying, so apologies if I've not answered your particular question. Now, I don't want to get too crazy. And what I might do is just get rid of these clouds just a little bit, so I can see what I'm doing. Don't hit the Rockies. Yeah, I'll try not to, definitely. You can see how sort of detailed this simulator is. It's very, very detailed. Very, very detailed indeed, in fact. Aspen looks great. It really does. It's fantastic. Never been here in real life, but obviously I've seen so many videos and pictures online of Aspen in general. But it really is fantastic. Can you fly anywhere with the standard edition? You can fly anywhere with all the editions of the simulator. The only difference being that only certain airports, depending on what version you get, will be handcrafted. But they will be there. There's a common misconception that for some bizarre reason people seem to think that there's only like 30 airports located in the simulator. That's not true. It's you can fly anywhere you wish, but it just means that only certain airports are going to be handcrafted. But I've obviously opted for the Premium Deluxe, which is the one that has been given to me by Microsoft, and I've got to admit, I'm very, very happy with it. Am I running at max settings? No, I'm running perfectly fine at high settings. I don't run at max because it can induce stutters. But I am very, very happy with this. There's the airport down there. And what we'll do is we'll turn off down that way, try and come back on ourselves and sort of start a descent. I reckon you'll be able to run Ultra. Yeah, you can run Ultra. It's not that you can't run it, it's just that the experience that you get from it will be a lot of stuttering. Because unfortunately that is an issue that is currently in the simulator. It's been there for a while. You can notice the stutter immediately when I'm turning. When you turn, for some bizarre reason, that definitely increases the stutter. But I am so happy to be sharing this simulator. The T-Flight HOTUS... Yeah, so the T-Flight HOTUS 1 is the one that I'm using. It's the one that's got the Xbox logo on the joystick. It's from Thrustmaster. It's got Thrustmaster logo on it, on the throttle, but also got the Xbox logo. This isn't as demanding as people think. Well, that depends what settings you have. And it is actually very true that it isn't actually that demanding, because what you can do is you can just lower some of the settings down and things still look great, so you can still enjoy the simulator, but just with slightly lower settings. So where are we? There we are. Airport's down there. Or back there, should I say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce speed. I don't know whether I'm going to be going over speed now if I put the first level of flaps out. Bear in mind this is completely hand flying, so probably going to get a few things wrong. Let's go gear down before I forget. Again, I do not claim to be an expert at flying this aircraft, or any aircraft for that matter, in the simulator. We're just having a look today, that's all we're doing. For some reason it seems to flick to a different view when I do that. I don't know, like, I'm looking at one view and then it does that, which is weird. I'm not sure whether there's a way to stop that. So we're probably way too high at the moment. I'm going to drop some more flaps. But again, this is all part of the fun. can see the runway. I hope it's a runway. It better not be a taxiway, because that's going to be fun. It's definitely the runway. Never actually landed on an icy runway before, so this is going to be interesting. Will this game be compatible with third-party plugins? I'm assuming so, yes, definitely. Can't really see the pappies from here either. Can you put a steering wheel on for the... Yeah, I'm assuming you can use anything you want. Really, whatever is easiest for yourself. Your motherboard? It's all on my website. You'd have to go and have a look at MrYorkiesWorld.co.uk. So there's the runway, looking decent. I'm happy. Should actually be landing on the opposite runway, according to the wind, but we'll be okay. Okay, so let's try and slam it into the ground. Idle. There we go, that was a heavy landing, wasn't it? But I think we made it. So one thing I want to know is it slidey? So if I do this, obviously it's going to be icy, isn't it? So I can't really feel myself losing control of the aircraft when I'm swaying from side to side like that. And it doesn't appear that the brakes are very much affected too much by the ice. So I don't know whether that's just my settings or a setup that I've got. But there we go, we've landed. Welcome back to Aspen. And before I forget, let's just... where's the range? How can I actually zoom in and out on there, or can I not? I'm not entirely sure how to do it. But it'd be okay. I was going to bring up the map, but the airport map, but it's fine. I'm sure we can manage. So we've got a truck or a van or something. Ah. Need to be in the centre, don't I? How do you get early access? I get early access because I'm teamed up with flightsim.com, and obviously I've got access through Microsoft, the team at Microsoft as well. I like how the traffic waits for you or tries to navigate what you're doing, but there we go, goodbye wing. But that is it. So essentially, that's Aspen. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed Aspen. I'm just going to turn to the right here and just park anywhere. There we go. So welcome once again to Aspen, which is where we've already been. We departed, and we've landed again. I think we took off from the opposite runway, though. But there we go. Not too bad, not too bad. One thing we probably should have done, in fact, is if I go to an external view again, showcase camera, drone speed, and we'll just take another look at sort of more of the surrounding area of Aspen, because we didn't really take a good look over here, but you can see the textures loading in. Got a bridge here. Not much detail underneath the bridge. But again, that could be because of the difficulty with the aerial imagery, if I can say that word. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And what I did want to try out, actually, is what this looks like at a different time of day. So maybe like an evening time. Look at that. Look at that for an amazing view. That looks absolutely tremendous. Absolutely stunning. So what if we go a little bit later? So like 10 PM. And here is everything sort of lit up at night time. Look at that. This is annoying as well, the floating lights. Screenshot Simulator 2020, yeah, definitely. It might as well be called that. These are the effects that we've got as well, with the windows. Bit repetitive, obviously they're everywhere, but from a height, it makes it look a little bit better. But this is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot get over. I mean, like I've said, I've had access to the simulator since the alpha, but I still cannot get over how amazing it absolutely looks. It is truly amazing. Look at that, we've got some more of these floaties here. Like floating sort of stars, lights. But I suspect that these are there for when you do this. Look how amazing that looks lit up at night. There's a new driver available to optimize flight simulation. Yeah, I actually thought that there would be another driver available as soon as the release. So I will be installing that later tonight, and in my next Flight Simulator 2020 video, hopefully we'll have even better performance. Because you can tell that the stutter, if I go onto the runway here, and I just pan forward, you can tell it's not perfectly smooth. And especially when I look round like this. Oh, it's not going to do it now, just to be awkward. It's going to prove me wrong. But yeah, you can see the little micro stutters and stuff. Well, absolutely gorgeous this is. Absolutely gorgeous. So, it is now time to check out the Great Barrier Reef in the Icon A5. And I will warn you that I have never flown the Icon A5. The only time I've actually been in the cockpit, in the virtual cockpit, is to set up the views for the aircraft. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Let's go to the main menu. And we'll check out the Icon A5 and how everything's looking in the Great Barrier Reef. Just for those of you who are unsure and want to go over the settings again, and I will be posting these on my website as well at MrYorkiesWorld.co.uk. But these are the settings I'm using. If you want to go over them after the stream's finished or whatever, basically I used the high preset, and then the only thing I've changed really is the volumetric clouds and set that to ultra. Everything else is basically just the high preset. So let's go back to the welcome screen. And what we will do, in fact, let's take a look at the marketplace. So you can see that the marketplace has already got some things available. We've got some Orbex, we've got some Flight Beam, who've released Denver by the looks of it. for £12.49. The London Landmark, or Landmarks London City Pack is £6.69. We've got the official content. And you can see there's already a Coronado CT182T Skyline, or Skylane available. We've got Orcas Island from Orbex, London City Airport from Orbex, Leeds Bradford, and obviously these are the things that I've already got installed. So I've got the Deluxe Premium upgrade and stuff like that. We've got Orbex Innsbruck, and yeah, so this is the official content. You can separate it by third-party developers. So Orbex, Flightbeam, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Coronado are all options. You can do it by airport, landmarks, aircraft, bundles, wish list. You can see what you've got installed and what's on promotions and stuff like that. So this is basically just the marketplace. This is something which people have been requesting quite a bit. So with that out of the way, let's go back to the world map. And we're going to select the icon A5. So I'll type it into the box here, A5. There it is. We've got Yorkie 26 Bravo as the call sign. And we're going to be departing from Yankee Bravo Hotel Mike, which is Hamilton. So it's pretty basic. This is obviously, I forgot to go over this really, but this is basically the flight planning screen. So if I wanted to go from Hamilton to, I don't know, it's got to be within this circle as well. I think the circle sort of defines how far you can go based on what fuel you've got, which is helpful. You know, I could choose, is it Cairo Airport? We could choose that, and we could set it as arrival. It would calculate a VFR direct GPS route, which would take 1 hour and 57 minutes. We could do it VOR to VOR. How many aircraft are there in the marketplace? Let's go back and just take a quick look, actually. So, marketplace is at the top. Official content. Aircraft. There is only one aircraft currently available. Is the launch at midnight UK? It certainly is, yes. Evening, Yorkie. Been looking forward to this. Thank you very much, Matt. So yeah, there's currently just one aircraft available there, but we'll go back to the world map. And it saves it as well, so you don't have to mess about. We could go for IFR, so low altitude airways, and it would calculate all the waypoints that you need. We could also use high altitude, which would, again, do the same thing, but just for high altitude. If you go into the nav log, this will show you all the different points and what the distance is, the heading, the speed, and everything like that from start to finish. The cruise altitude can be set there. But again, for today's video, we are literally just going to be going from Hamilton in the Icon A5. We're going to try to land on the water. Yorkie, you've got 7.46 subs. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, so we're going to be celebrating. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for 10,000 subscribers. I've had a bit of a think about it, but we're a while away yet. So, we've got live weather. It's currently 8:39 AM local time at Hamilton. So let's click fly. And let's get into this. Do you think there'll be freeware? I'm pretty sure there will probably be freeware, just the same as what we've had in X-Plane, same as what we've had in P3D. I absolutely cannot see why not. So, here we are. I'm not sure that this is a custom airport or a handcrafted one, but look at that. Look at that view. Absolutely gorgeous. And we'll do what we did before. We'll take a look around the airport before we actually go ahead and depart. So let's set the speed of the drone camera. What's the difference between the Premium Deluxe and the Standard? I think if you go to the Microsoft Flight Simulator website, it shows you all the differences. In terms of the way that the sim works, there's absolutely no difference whatsoever. The only differences are that each version of the simulator has got a certain amount of aircraft and airports included. Bear in mind, you can still access all of the airports in the world in every single version of the sim. It's a common misconception that people think that you can't. Yes, you can. It is just that handcrafted airports are sort of included more and more, the sort of higher tier of like the version that you get, basically. If that even makes sense, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But look at this. Again, we've got this sort of like texturing here is not perfect, and that is because we're relying on Bing Maps. So, you know, it's not going to be 100% perfect. There's going to be people releasing sceneries and things like that, just the same as they do for P3D and X-Plane. And, you know, that will probably help out a hell of a lot with these textures. But there we go. It's going to take all night for me to download it. Yeah, when I downloaded it, believe it or not, even the alpha, I was waiting a full day. So for the release build, I put it on overnight. And, you know, because I like to use my PC in the day, so it was a bit counterintuitive when I've got, you know, I'm trying to leave it to do its own thing. But I also have work to do, so I thought, no, we'll leave it on overnight. And that'll be better. Can you show liveries? There aren't really any liveries for stock aircraft at the moment. Will you be able to play it with a keyboard and mouse? I'm assuming so, yeah. It's the same as any flight simulator. You can use a keyboard and mouse. But, as ever, I would highly recommend that you use sort of like a setup that I've got, so a joystick, throttle quadrants and stuff like that. But look at this. Again, this is where we come down. This is an aerial image. If we go up here, that's what it would have looked like at the on the aerial image. If we go back down, you can see that these boats are not actually modelled. They're not actually modelled, which is a bit of a shame, but there's very little to nothing that we can do about that at this time. But look at that water. Look how gorgeous that water looks. It looks absolutely fantastic. The buildings, again, not sure how accurate they are. Great Barrier Reef, yep, that's right, that's where we are. Currently on an island called, let me have a look, Hamilton Island. And obviously this is the Hamilton Airport, or airstrip. So you can definitely tell when I'm looking round, this is when the stutter appears. It's actually not very smooth when I'm panning around, and that's an issue that's in the simulator at the moment. Hopefully, the drivers that have just been released through Nvidia will help to fix a lot of these issues that people are suffering from, that we've been suffering from for a while now. But look at that. Very, very detailed, even up close, some of these houses. Oops. It is very, very impressive, I've got to admit. And we are now 15 minutes, everybody, from the UK release of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not sure when it's going to be released anywhere else. I think somebody put that in the chat earlier on, actually. But feel free to scroll up and have a look. This looks like a full-on VFR sim. Absolutely. I mean, you can just see how gorgeous it looks. One thing I love to do is change the time of day and just look at like the evening time and stuff like that and what it looks like in the simulator. I mean, this, look at this. It just looks absolutely magnificent. It looks really, really nice. X-Plane is behind a couple of years, to be honest. Yeah, well, I mean, I've used X-Plane, I've used P3D, obviously, as everybody knows. P3D has been the main platform on the channel. But I've never seen a level of detail as good as this from a stock simulator with no add-ons. This is truly, in my opinion, remarkable. I mean, look at this view that I can get just here. I've sort of set the camera a bit to... Look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. But this is basically it. I mean, like I said, we're going to try and land on some water today, so that's going to be interesting. A little beach area here. And it looks here as if this should have been like a swimming pool, which is obviously very, very blurry and pixelated, so it's not really caught that very well. But yeah. It's not perfect, but there we go. So let's take a look at that view. I still can't get over it. Let's take a look at what it looks like a little bit later on. Maybe like 10 o'clock at night. Obviously you're not going to see a hell of a lot because it's an island. But it still looks absolutely gorgeous. There we go with those TVs again. But absolutely fantastic. Beautiful. So let's go back to live. And it's very easy to do that. One thing I didn't show off is something that I've always wanted to actually show off in the simulator, which, if I go to... hang on, I'm still on the drone camera. Let me move the camera a little bit. If I go to a custom weather, so for example, let's have a look at the storm. We've not seen the storm lately. In fact, I don't think we've seen it at all. But here we go, the storm. Stormy weather. We've got lightning up there somewhere, but I don't know where it is. And look at the effects it has on the water. Based on what we've just done. Whoa, look at that flash. I really want to see some lightning, but... seems every time I look up to try and see it, it's not there. Probably because it's through the clouds. So we'd have to get, like, a lot higher. And if we go too high like this, we're not going to see it at all. So we're going through the clouds now. But listen to that. Not sure whether you can hear that very well. But it is absolutely amazing. Let's just go back down to ground level a minute. Wherever we are. We're there somewhere. Oh, there we go. And let's look at... like, here we go. So, I can raise this level of cloud so it's not as low as what it was. We can see a little bit better. And then we can look around and maybe we'll see some lightning now. That was one spark of lightning. There's another one. It's not, they don't look amazing, but they look really good. You can hear the cracks as well. I do not think we've seen anything as nice as this in a simulator before. Not stock. Just not, you know, as it comes. It is truly remarkable, and I love the fact that you can modify all of this. Oh, there was a shot of lightning there. You can adjust the scatter, the altitude of the clouds, the coverage and stuff like that. If we go to overcast, again, this is another one of the presets. Look at that. That looks absolutely fantastic. And I've got a funny feeling it would look even nicer if we make the sky go really sort of blood red or like a really dark... Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is absolutely unbelievable. This is insane. Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing. This is simply unbelievable. The Steam version is better, so you can mod. You can probably mod it in any version because everybody's got access to the installation files regardless. So, but look how amazing this looks. I am absolutely in love. That is like a wallpaper-worthy sort of scene. So how many people have we got watching this this stream right now? We've got 597 people watching this. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And we are now under 10 minutes until the official release in the United Kingdom. Let's go to high-level clouds. Again, look at that. That's even more beautiful. Well, not as much, I don't think, but yeah. You just sold 1 million copies. They should pay you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. It does look amazing. It looks really, really nice. One thing that I can't wait for is going to be doing like a, you know, obviously we've got 4 months left of this year, and you know, doing the festive season, like the flights to New York in the winter and stuff. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I think we're going to leave the weather at that, and what we'll do is we'll do the flight with this weather. Right. Get into the cockpit. Again, I've never flown this aircraft before, so bear in mind that I have no idea what I'm doing. But let's give it a go. Not sure what the airspeed needs to be for departure. I'm going to try and sort of lift the nose up now, and we'll go gear up. Look at that. This is a car, not a plane. Yeah, it looks exactly like the dash of a car. It's unreal how car-like this actually looks. Just trimming a little bit. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness me. Gonna trim the nose a little bit. Look at that, that view is amazing. What's the location? We are on Hamilton Island Airport, which is around the Great Barrier Reef sort of area. Let's go and just change the time of day a little bit. What should we do? Should we There we go. Just as the sun drops. Five minutes, everybody, to the official release of Microsoft Flight Simulator in the UK. Is the A320 autopilot wobble fixed? I think it is. At least in some of the tests that I've done. Because I know that that's one of the main reasons I haven't really done many flights in the big jets yet, because I'm waiting for... oops, the flaps. Need to sort those out. I'm waiting for the PMDG and Aerosoft aircraft to arrive. Now let's go down. Let's just reduce this airspeed, because we're going a bit quick. And we're going to fly a little bit low, or as low as we can. Just add a few clouds. Let's have a look. See if we can add a few clouds. See, we can bring the clouds down, actually. We can bring those high-level clouds and stuff like that. Or we can just go to scattered clouds. There we go. Oh my goodness me. Let's turn for a view of the sun. Look at this. Now, can somebody please tell me if you've ever seen a simulator look this amazing out of the box? Because I don't think I have. I really don't think I've seen a simulator look this good out of the box. This is literally just on another level, in my opinion. This is a level that I don't think we've ever seen. Three minutes, people. So we're going to reduce down. Because I'm going to try landing this thing on the water. Because this is something I've never done. The fact that you can change the settings live, yeah, it really is. It's an amazing feature. I know that with Rex Environment Force you could do that in P3D, but it just was not as sort of easy and built in and as this is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change to an external view so that we can see when we go to land on the water what it looks like. So I'm at 0 sort of power at the moment. I've not got much power, but I've got none, to be fair. And let's see what it looks like to land on the water. Oh my goodness. So we're floating a little bit. Or floating a lot. I don't even know why I said that. We're bouncing a little bit is what I meant to say. Around 60 seconds, people, before the simulator releases in the UK. As we come to a stop. Obviously the brakes don't work in the water. That's expected. But this is absolutely magnificent. 30 seconds, people are counting down. Look how beautiful this looks. This is absolutely insane. And it is officially midnight, everybody. The simulator has been released in the UK and wherever else it's going to be released. Get yourselves downloading it, because it is absolutely fantastic. Can you explain how the sim sounds? Well, if you look at some of my other videos that I've done on the channel, you'll see that I've done some sort of cinematics showing off what the sim actually sounds like. It's got very, very good static, sort of like ambient noise and sound effects. Very, very nice indeed. Let's change things around a little bit more. Oh, that was lovely then. Little bit, there we go. Look at this. Look at that. Let me get that in a showcase view and reset the position. Focus mode. Drone speed. Now, does this, or does this not, look absolutely insane? This is absolutely just unbelievable. I simply cannot understand or even contemplate in any way, shape or form how amazing this really is. Still 6 more hours to go in the US Central Time. Trust me, it's going to be worth the wait. Absolutely worth the wait. If the download's available for you now, I would recommend you do it. Start it right now. Do not waste a single minute. So I'm going to set some flaps for taking off again. I don't know if that's what you do in this aircraft, but that's what I'm going to do. Look at this. There's not many effects on the water as you actually bounce off it, like any splashing effects or anything. That's a bit of a shame. But nevertheless, we're okay, I think. So we'll take off again. How long does it take to download? For me, it took quite a while. It took near enough all day. Which is obviously a bit of a shame, but if you leave it overnight or something, you should be okay. Go up into the clouds. Right, okay, let's have a look. See if we can take this thing a little bit higher. I don't know how high this aircraft can go. Are you running on ultra graphics? No, this is just high. The only thing I've got set to ultra is the clouds. Look at that. Does the game use the full 32 gigabytes? I don't think it does. Let me just have a look at performance. It's currently using 12.9 gig of the 32 available. Which is obviously there. That's the CPU. CPU is currently 59 degrees, 63 degrees, around 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and the GPU is at 62 degrees Celsius. So let's make a right turn. And we'll head back to Hamilton. The water physics were poor. Yeah, they really were. Unfortunately, we didn't have very good physics for the water there. Have they fixed the sunken bridges in London? I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look at that in another stream or in my next video. What frames are you getting? You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. It should show you my FPS there. But please bear in mind that this is not using an extra, like a third-party aircraft such as like a PMDG or anything, so that is definitely going to be going down. Did you remember to put the flaps up? Yep, the flaps are completely up. So we're going to make a landing now at Hamilton, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of a Q&A, so anybody who's got questions that I've not managed to answer, once we've landed back at Hamilton, which will be in the next few moments, people will have the opportunity to ask questions. Is this using the game driver released for Nvidia? No, this is literally just using the latest version before that. The actual update wasn't released at the time I started the stream, I don't think. Or it might have been, it just didn't come up and tell me that it was available. What DLC am I looking forward to? Personally, I will be looking forward to sort of more aircraft, really. Specifically, I'm looking forward to either the Airbus A320 or the PMDG line of aircraft, which are obviously a lot more detailed than what we have in the sim at the moment. But I'm absolutely astounded. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe how amazing the simulator looks. How big is a download? For me, it was about 90-something gig, but I think that will probably increase because there's liable to be like loads of updates as well, like maybe release day updates and bug fixes and stuff. Can't wait for all the hidden military bases and crop circles. Yeah, definitely. That's going to be awesome. I think somebody on YouTube has already seen Area 51, and I'm sure there was like an Easter egg there, which was pretty nice to see. What am I most disappointed about so far? I think the thing that I'm sort of most disappointed about would have to be the stuttering and sort of like certain performance issues that there are in the sim, because these have been around for a very long time, ever since the alpha, the beta, the preview build. But obviously there's plenty of opportunity, as there was in P3D and X-Plane, for these things to be fixed, for these things to be worked around. I mean, I don't even know if there's a config file yet. I've not explored that to see if there's a config file that we can edit and maybe tweak for performance issues, but still saying too early in the UK. That's unusual. Unless it's something to do with the servers. Maybe the servers might be overloaded with the amount of people downloading, so they might be sort of reducing the amount of people that can download at any time. I've no idea. Let's just reduce down on the speed, because the airport is over there and I don't want to be too fast and too high. There we go, the altitude and airspeed are dropping now. How's the A320 compared with the X-Plane add-ons? I'm not sure, because I don't use X-Plane, so the A320, in my opinion, is definitely improved from what it was. It wasn't very stable at all, so I definitely think it's improved a little bit. So let's just trim a little bit. And the airport is just there. Try not to climb when I'm trying to descend. But yeah, this aircraft does really look like a car. I find that really interesting. So I've put the flaps to 15 because I just want to help myself slow down a little bit. I'm probably just going to drop the gear as well, just for the sake of it. The sky is beautiful. Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous in the simulator. Any ideas when it's going to be released in the UK on Steam? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, unfortunately. I know that the release time for the Microsoft Store was meant to be midnight, so people are obviously downloading that now. But some people are having a few issues. So there's the runway. Somewhere over there, anyway. But so far, this is absolutely fantastic. So runway 32 is going to be our landing, or where we're going to be landing. Is the rolling cache working? Yeah, I've got that switched on. I'm assuming it's working correctly because it keeps using up space. So I'm assuming it's writing some sort of information. And there is the runway. All the runway lights are just there. So I'll start this left turn in a moment. Hopefully I'm not too high. Looking good. You're stuck on the loading bar. It can take a while to load, and it can also take a while to start the sim. So if you've downloaded it and you've double-clicked the icon or clicked on it, it can take a while for the download to actually, for the sim to actually start up. So you might feel as though it's not started or it's not worked, but just give it a few minutes. It can take up to like a minute sometimes. Not sure whether that's normal or not, but yeah. But look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to land, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a little break, little toilet break, and we will then answer some questions. So flaps are full. Look at this approach. Absolutely gorgeous. A little bit high. Just trying to correct that. We've also got a bit of a crosswind as well. And be prepared for my first landing in the Icon. Because I've never landed in this aircraft. There we go. We are down. Gonna get those flaps straight up. Absolutely beautiful. Right, where is the next exit? Let's have a look. I think we've probably gone past about 17 of them. Now there we go, there's one coming up. So welcome once again, everybody, to Hamilton Island. Are there any replay capabilities? At the moment, there aren't. However, I do believe there is a piece of software that is in the works that's going to be released for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It might already be available, actually, that allows you to do replays. Now, I've got no idea how I'm supposed to park this thing, or where I'm supposed to park this thing. Oh, there we go. That was good thinking, wasn't it? Slow down a little bit. And we'll just leave it there, I think. And then what I will do is get back into the external view. And just take another look at this. Look how gorgeous it looks. Just sit on the roof here, as if we were out there taking a photo. Absolutely magnificent. Right, okay guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break, just a short bathroom break, and then we're going to do a Q&A. So, catch up with you guys in just a few moments. Right, okay, apologies about that. I am now back. So feel free to ask any questions that you might have, and I will do my best to answer them. Because there's a lot of people that have been asking questions about the simulator. You know, for opinions on this and opinions on that. Oh, we've got an aircraft. Oh, it's not an aircraft, that's my eyes. Absolutely terrible eyes. Look at that. Must be blind. But yeah, if there's any questions about the simulator or any specific features that you'd like me to explain or anything like that, because obviously I've had access to this simulator since the alpha, so how was your day? It's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I've been at work most of the day. I got home at 8 PM tonight, so it's straight onto this. Did you wash your hands? I certainly did. How choppy is it? It is it can be quite choppy. I mean, especially when you're looking round and moving and turning in the aircraft. If I do this, look, you can see that there's a bit of stutter and stuff that happens. Can you go above the clouds in the drone? I can certainly try. Let me just set the drone speed to 100. How detailed is the A320? In terms of detailed, it's okay. There's a lot missing. But again, it is a stock aircraft. Advantages and disadvantages of buying on Steam. I would say, I don't really know. I mean, I think it's the same simulator. It does the same job. But I'm not really sure. But look at this. This is what it is. It looks like above the clouds in the simulator. Are there achievements? I'm not sure. I know there's like a feature that allows you to monitor how many hours you've got in the sim and stuff like that. So I don't... Oh, look at this. Look at that. Everybody just stop just for a moment and look at that. Is there a career mode or any type of progress? Apart from sort of like where it shows you how many hours you've got under your belt in the sim and stuff like that, I don't know of any other sort of modes. How long does the download take? For me, it took a full day. But just look how amazing this looks. The clouds, or above the clouds, looks absolutely fantastic. And if we just go down a little bit, just to bring those clouds up a little bit, it looks absolutely fantastic. I have the Founders Edition 970. What do you have? I've got the... I think it's Asus. Yeah, it's the Asus 2080 Ti. Did you get into a thunderstorm? What about the effects? We'll actually take a look right now. So I go into storm. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. Somebody tell me if you have seen clouds and effects this good in any other simulator, because I don't think I have. Not straight out of the box. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait to get into the simulator and start doing, you know, videos such as this. You know, just showcases such as this, because obviously you guys seem to like these things. I mean, look at it. It looks better with the blood red, don't you think? It just looks absolutely unbelievable. And let's go above these. If we can get above these clouds as well. I don't know how high you can actually get. But it really does. This simulator is absolutely just something from a sci-fi film. It's unbelievable. It really is. Let's go to overcast. Again, that's absolutely gorgeous. Can you have a look in and see if there's any available stock aircraft liveries? There are no available stock liveries at the moment. Fly to the moon? I wish I could. It'd be really good if you could actually do that. 4K Ultra? No, this is 1080p at high. The clouds are set to Ultra, but everything else is 1080p at high. Is the game out? It is in the UK. I'm not sure about everywhere else. The colours are perfect. Yeah, they really are. It looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? 15 gigabytes of 900... no, 15 gigabytes of 91 gigabyte. Yeah. It's a big download. It really is. Fly super high. Okay, let's keep going higher and higher and see how high we can get. This is just this is unreal. Release time for the Xbox One in the UK? I have no idea. But as you can see, we're getting higher and higher and higher now. Is there bird strikes? I'm sure there are, yes. What's the longest flight you've done? Really? I don't really know. I've not done like really long haul flights. And has it crashed? Yes, I've had one or two crashes. There is currently a bug with connecting the Xbox One controller. If you connect it or disconnect it mid-sim or mid-flight, it can crash the game to the desktop. But look how gorgeous this looks, and we're still getting higher as well. We're still going higher. Doesn't show any signs of getting near to like a ceiling or anything. This is for the flat earthers, yeah, definitely. Look at this. Absolutely unreal. So we're still going up, we're still rising by the looks of it. Didn't expect that? No, neither did I. This is absolutely insane. And we are still rising. What's that altitude? To be honest, it looks like 500 miles. I've no idea. I just keep going and going and going. The ISS is gonna... Yeah. 400k is the feet ceiling. Oh, right. Yeah, we're still going... We're just going higher and higher. But look at this. We're starting to see the weird effects happening there. We're in space. We're actually in space. Look at this. We're at the edge of space. This is absolutely insane. Can you use third-party aircraft? Yes, at the moment there is a third-party aircraft. I can't remember what it was. That's available in the marketplace. I think it's a Caronado. I can't even see if we're still going. Yeah, we are. We're still moving. We're still going higher. Do you suggest getting the cheapest version and save the money for serious third-party planes? I would actually recommend getting this version. Let me turn the clouds off. People are requesting to turn the clouds off to see what it looks like. So let's go to clear skies. And you can't really see anything. It seems as though things have sort of like disappeared. You can't really see anything if you go that high. But if we go to overcast, again, turn those back on. One thing that we should do is try to do it with a storm and see if we can see what the lightning looks like from above. I wonder if it'll actually render it. It doesn't look like... Oh, it does, it does. Look at that. And we're still going up as well. I'm still going up. We can see the lightning. That is absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. But yes, you can go to space. Or the edge of space. in Flight Simulator 2020. One thing I want to see now is if we go to reset position, this is going to like zoom down back to the ground. So it's either going to break the simulator or it's going to look really good. So let's do it. Whoa, that was quick. Oh, and the aircraft just flew to the ground. Look at that. Everything's rendering back in again. Oh my god, what's happened? What has gone on? But look at... oh my goodness, look at that. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, I thought this was our aircraft. It's not, obviously. But there's all the lightning going on. Thanks for asking all my questions, answering all my questions. You gained a new subscriber. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. I would highly recommend that if you're not subscribed to the channel already, I am going to be making videos just like this. Near enough every day, Monday to Friday, I will attempt to make a daily video of this gorgeous scenery from all the way around the world. And I've really enjoyed the stream so far. It's absolutely fantastic. But I would highly recommend subscribing to the channel to be kept up to date. What the hell's gone on now? Oops, it looks as if... well, that's good, isn't it? Should we try and put the... that's weird. So the gear's broken since we spawned back in. VR is coming in a later update? Yes, it certainly is. So I know this probably doesn't happen at Hamilton Island, but let's have a look and see what things look like when it snows. Look at that, how it transitions. The reflections from the headlights on that truck. Oh, they were there, and now they've gone. Is there somebody in there? I want to see if he actually gets out of the truck. You slammed it into the ground. Well, when we landed, it wasn't slammed into the ground, but when we spawned back in from 1,000,000 feet in the sky, everything loaded back in, including the aircraft, and it seems to have thrown... oh, what the hell's going on? Every time I go anywhere near one of these trucks, it seems to, like, turn its engine off. It's like it's shy or something. So let's just take a look. And what do we do next? So, few clouds. There we go. Back to the beauty that we saw a little while ago. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really enjoy it. So let's go back into the settings. Well, not the settings, but the other things that are available in the simulator, and just take a look. Absolutely love that music. If I want to fly in Dubai in the standard edition, can I go there? Yes, you can go anywhere you want. It's just that, in fact, let me have a look and see which airports are actually included. Because I've got a list of them somewhere. I'm not sure where it is, but I've got a list of where all the airports are somewhere. The ones that are sort of like included. So, let's take another look at some of the other stuff that you can do. So, we've taken a look at the world map, and we've taken a look at sort of flight planning and stuff like that. Which is obviously a really cool feature. I mean, One thing I didn't mention was what these stars are. So if we bring up the legend, a star is a star airport or POI, apparently. So point of interest. So if we go down here, we can see... this is obviously... Kingsford. Sydney. And if we go... What exactly are we looking at? Sydney Opera House. There we go. So that's a Sydney Opera House. And the actual beauty of this is, if we change the aircraft to something else, because I fancy flying... So this is what I was going to do. So we've got the Airbus. These are all the aircraft. So 30 aircraft are included in total in the Premium Deluxe version. And we've got the 787-10, 747-8. We've got the Airbus A320neo. We've got the Aviat. We've got the Cirrus. We've got the Cub. We've got the TBM. We've got the Diamond. The DA40 and the DA40NG. DA62. And there are just so many different aircraft, but let me just jump into one we've not been in. Let's have a look at the DA62. I've not actually flown in this before. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select Sydney Opera House, because I'm sure there was a thing that you can click on and or set up so that you can spawn above that. Maybe if you set it as departure, airborne, 164 feet. Well, this is either going to send us slamming into the ground, or it's going to be pretty interesting to see the Sydney Opera House. So let's just try this and see what it does. So we should, in theory, spawn above the Sydney Opera House. Sydney Opera House. Right. So... Oh my goodness me. So this is obviously Sydney. Let's just take a... I've never flown this aircraft before, so... So where is the Sydney Opera House then? It should be... somewhere down there. According to where we spawned in. And I've not set my views up in this aircraft either. Well, let's reset position. But this is absolutely magnificent. I mean, look at... Still 58 FPS. And let me just trim this, because this is... I think this is one of the aircraft that... maybe the controls aren't perfect. One thing I did want to do is the gear down? Oh yeah, the gear's up. Right, I wanted to see what would happen if we tried landing on water, because obviously the simulator allows you to land on water in a water capable aircraft, but what about if I wanted to land on water in an aircraft that's not designed to land on water? What would happen then? And look at that, absolutely gorgeous. So if I just reduce down I've got a funny feeling I know what's going to happen. And if we just try... What would happen? Oh no! No! It actually lets you land on water. I mean, obviously this aircraft is not meant to land on water. But that's what we've just done. I was expecting it to... Yeah, it'll probably do the same like X-plane bounce like a boat. Yeah, I was expecting that to happen. I really was. I was expecting the actual aircraft to just bounce up into the sky like it usually does. But that is amazing. The fact that you can actually land on water, so you could actually simulate maybe like a, you know, like the Sully Sullivan, you know, sort of engine failure and then sort of landing on the water. You could actually do that. So if we try and take off again, obviously it's not going to work because we're stuck in the water now. Full throttle and we're not going anywhere. But just for the, you know, just for the sake of it, that's what it looks like. Underwater? No, it doesn't look like we can go underwater. But this is a perfect opportunity since we're in a sort of like a bit of a pickle here. This is a perfect opportunity to check out the area surrounding Sydney. And that's obviously us down there. Look at this. Look how amazing this looks. And again, we'll go in, we'll add some scattered clouds. Because a lot of videos that I see, people share it with sort of clear sky. And although that's really handy for when you're trying to just look at stuff and see if it's accurate, I like to be able to put like a different weather theme on and see what things look like. I mean, I think that is an absolutely stunning view. And if we go in and obviously change the time of day, we can change it to sort of evening, sort of 5:20 in the afternoon. And this is what it looks like. That looks like live weather here right now. Yeah, it is very accurate. But absolutely gorgeous, look at it. And that's what we're looking for, there we go. It's never cloudy in Sydney. Yeah, that's the only problem, isn't it? Yeah. It's nice to look at in like a virtual environment, but obviously, yeah. So let's go to broken clouds. Slightly different. Very, very lovely indeed. A little low quality due to streaming. Yeah, that's unfortunately the reality. However, just make sure that you're subscribed to the channel because I'll be doing videos just like this. You can still send me requests, and obviously I'll be doing those requests just the same as what I already have done in the simulator. Even, you know, just because the simulator's released, I'm not going to stop doing people's requests because I fully sympathise with the fact that not everybody has got access to the simulator or can run the simulator right now, and that's why they're making those requests. So I'm probably going to be one of the only people that is going to get all of these requests done from this spreadsheet that I've got, which has already got like hundreds of requests, but I will still get them done. So let's go to Overcast. Look at that. Can't wait to see what Manchester looks like with clear skies. Never seen it in real life. Yeah, yeah, it's exactly the same here, really. I mean, as of late, we've had a good bit of weather in Doncaster, really. But now it's sort of gone downhill again. Sydney Opera House was right in front of you when you spawned in. Yeah, it probably was. It probably was. It's just that I'm absolutely blind, and I was obviously trying to sort of fly an aircraft I've never flown before. I should really have just. There should be like a. There should be a feature such as the Orbex Bob that allows you to spawn in as nothing more than just a drone camera. That would be helpful. But look at that. That just looks unreal. Absolutely unreal. And again, probably never snows in Australia. But we'll give it a go anyway. This is what a snowy Australia would look like. Yeah, it's not too good, really. But there are all sorts of different options, like coverage. You can change the coverage to more or to less. The scatter, you can change that. Obviously, the cloud altitude for the top and the bottom, so how, you know, how wide the coverage will be. Let's go to live weather again. And live time. So this is what it looks like at the moment, apparently, according to the simulator. I just love it. I really do. As I've said before, I think this is just going to be like revolutionary when it comes to simulation. I think there's so much, and you know, there's so many possibilities and so much fun to be had. But look at that. Look how gorgeous that looks. Not perfect. Again, when you zoom in, it's really bad quality. But most of the time, you're not going to be doing what I'm doing. You're going to be flying like this high. So it looks reasonable there. There's the Sydney Opera House. I knew it was round here somewhere. Look at that. That is really well modelled. That is very, very well modelled. A lot of people are asking about boats, so let's go into the settings and see what we've got in terms of boats. So we've got ships and ferries, leisure boats. They are switched on, but for some bizarre reason they're not showing. The harbour bridge is gone, yeah. And there's a bridge there. Oops, that's a bit of stutter. So the FPS just went down a little bit of an FPS drop. But again, I'm hoping that the fix that's going to come out will hopefully be better. Or it will make it better. So let's change the timing again. Because we all love a lovely evening view. That looks gorgeous. Look at that. There we go. Look at that. The lighting on there looks fantastic. Fantastic? Why the hell did I just say fam instead of fan? I have no idea. Might be the beer. I too am celebrating, everybody. What platform did he come from before FS 2020? I was on P3D. But this just looks absolutely insane. Shall we take a look at it at night? Let's have a look at it when it's fully dark. What does the Opera House look like? So it's, as you can imagine, it's... Is it supposed to be lit up? Is that supposed to be lit up at night? Just look at that, though. What beer, though? Personally, I've got a can of Guinness right now. Try a little earlier and it might light up. Let's have a look. Doesn't seem to really want to light up very much. But still, look how amazing that looks there. How long before VR? I've no idea. And I think the simulator has just randomly crashed. That's going to be strange. Unless this is a lag spike. This could be a lag spike. Yep, it was. That was a really long lag spike. Put some dawn scenery. Right, let's have a look at dawn then. So 6:35 AM. Look at that. That is 6:35 AM at the Sydney Opera House. Time to download GeForce now, see the improvements. Yeah, I am definitely going to be downloading the new driver. Again, we've got some things that aren't really modelled here, such as boats and stuff. But I assume that all these things will probably be sort of rectified. That's a nice view. The reflection on the Opera House, I know, it is absolutely unreal. Just look at that. Are there any airline liveries? Not at the moment, I'm afraid. I think Microsoft and Asobo are trying to discuss with the different companies and different airlines to get their liveries officially licensed. But because of the COVID-19, things have obviously been delayed with that. So another place that I wanted to check out was Las Vegas. This is a place I've always wanted to go in real life. I've never been, and I would love to go and experience it. So let's go in. We're going to keep the Diamond DA62 just for the sake of it. And we will put Las Vegas McCarran in there. And we'll do live sort of time and weather and everything as well. I'm stuck on the insert disc screen. Do I just wait or something? I'm not sure because obviously this is... I've got the download version, so I don't know whether you've got the disc version or what, but this was added to my account by Microsoft, so I don't know the exact sort of method that you'd use. The Sahara will be stunning. Yeah, I'm going to be... the thing is, I don't want to take too many requests in the chat because I really want you guys to see what it's going to look like in an actual video that's been recorded, not streamed, because streaming is perfect, it's fantastic, but it doesn't really show the level of detail that I would love to see, or that I would want you to see. as the viewer. So I will be looking at all these comments and requests and adding them onto my spreadsheet, and then one by one we will just do them all. So let's go to... So this is... Right, straight off the bat, light aircraft, stock light aircraft, 35 FPS, maybe 40 FPS at Las Vegas. Maybe 45, 46, something like that, in an internal camera view. Where do I request? Just put it in the chat and I will try my best. Or, you know, just comment. What I'll do is I'll go through all the comments and the chat messages and stuff, and I'll just note down all the requests after the video. That way, at least I've got them all. So external view then. A little bit stuttery, or not perfectly smooth at Las Vegas, but you can sort of understand why. My goodness. So I'm sure that... I'm not sure, but... Well, I am sure that Vegas is handcrafted. It must be. It's one of the main airports. I can't remember whether it is or not. But it looks pretty nice. I mean, it looks detailed enough, even if it's standard. It definitely looks like it's been handcrafted. Apart from the terminal building. Don't know whether that's realistic. I'm not sure. But let's go over here to the Las Vegas Strip. And see what level of detail we've got here. So this looks really nice. Look at that. Look at how much detail there is there. Michael Jackson. My God. Are the Cytec Logitech panels supported? I'm not sure. The hotel. The big pyramid there. I'd be interested to see, actually. I'm going to check in a minute and see whether it has like the light beam thing at the night time. I don't see a countdown on screen. What's the remaining time? Well, I did try to put one on, but unfortunately, for some reason, I couldn't find one that would configure correctly and actually show in Streamlabs OBS. So before the stream started, I did have one in mind, but there we go. But the simulator in the UK is the one that it was counting down to, so that's already been released now in the UK. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. This is a bit sort of vegetation-y, isn't it? Oh, we've got a transparent building there as well. That's unusual. But overall, it looks really nice. It's a lot more sort of densely packed than what it would be in P3D. Let's take a look at what it looks like at night, because we all know that if we're going to look at Las Vegas, it has to be at night. It looks reasonable. It really does look reasonable, but the only issue is... Look at that. Look at those lights. The only issue is I don't see the pyramid sort of lit up with the big sort of ray of light going up into the sky. This is the ideal scenery for helicopters? Oh, absolutely. Turn up the traffic? Let's have a go. See if we can turn up the traffic. So let's go to traffic, and I'm literally going to turn all of this up to the maximum, even including in the airport. So to be honest, I don't really I don't really know. I've not really noticed anything much. Doesn't look much different. It all looks very nice, but the only thing that lets me down is surely it should be a bit more lit up than what it is. It should be definitely a little bit more lit up. And unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be, which is a shame. So another area I wanted to go to then, and that's been requested, is going to be New York. Didn't see you click apply and save. I actually clicked F11, which is the quick way of doing that. LA at night? Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that as well. That's going to be amazing. So we'll look at New York, and we're going to have to look at New York in the winter as well. That's going to look really nice. So I'm not changing the aircraft purely and simply because we're not really using the aircraft. We're just sort of using the area, if you will. Just the aircraft to just goes on the runway. Right, let's go to live. So it's 8:02 PM. Let's tone that back a bit because we want to see what it looks like in the daytime first. Niagara Falls? Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to check that out at some point. Go to Hogwarts. Yeah, we will definitely have to put that on the bucket list. Miami and South Beach, Florida. Yeah, that's another area that I want to check out as well, actually. As I said, anything that I don't manage to check out today in this evening's stream, we are definitely going to be checking out in a future one, so do not worry about that. We're just waiting for it to load. It's taking a little bit of a while, but you can sort of understand why, because it's going to be a very densely populated area. Go to my house. Yeah. A lot of people want to do that in the sim. I've already been and had a look at mine, and it's not very accurate, actually, unfortunately. It's not. You can see the streets and everything, but it's got, like, trees where trees certainly aren't. And it's not very high quality, unfortunately, where I live. How did you get this game? Well, I'm friends with the team over at Microsoft and the team at FlightSim.com, both of which have contributed to me getting early access to this, and I was very, very lucky to have been given the simulator to show off to everybody. Right. One thing I want to point out is, when you first load in, you might have seen it there in the bottom right, it will not give you a very high FPS. I think that went down to like 7 FPS a minute ago. Give it a few seconds, and then you'll start to get the good frame rates. So, at the moment, as you can see, we're anywhere between 30 and 40 FPS, and this is at New York JFK. So, let's just go to drone speed and increase that, because we're not interested in the aircraft now. We're going to be having a look round. Rio, please. Yeah, we've done Rio. That was actually the start of this video. Or start of this stream. Look at this. Look at the detail. This is the first time I've actually seen KJFK so detailed since the Drzecki design P3D scenery. Not sure what's happening over there with that building. It looks a bit flickery. But look at this. If I go up and do what we did earlier, just have a nice look at the scenery. Look how complex this is. Now, every aircraft that you see here is actually there in the real world. This is, obviously, I've got real traffic. It's not a game, it's a simulator. Yeah, you see, I like to refer to it as a simulator. I've always been one of those people who gets slightly annoyed by people who call it a game, but I think the reason they call it a game is because it's actually on the Xbox now as well. And, you know, that they're sort of... You can call it a game if you want, you can call it a simulator, you can call it whatever you want. Can you go to Sydney? Yep, I will definitely have a look at Sydney either tonight in this stream, or I will have a look at it as soon as possible. Real traffic? Yeah. It's this is actually real. Any traffic that you see, any air traffic, is actually there in real life. Now let's go over to the city. It's going to take us a long time, but let's go over to the city. You can see the distance that things are rendered is actually pretty good as well. So be prepared, because the frame rates are definitely going to disappear from here on. I wonder what Flight Simulator 2040 will be like. Yeah, well, you never know. So you can see things start to load in now. It's a very, very dense area. Very dense indeed. Now, apologies to anybody who's making requests and has made those requests on my previous videos. I am getting to them. I make a note of every request I receive. So don't think if I don't reply that I've not heard you and I've not considered it, because I have. It's just that at the moment things are very, very complicated, because I've had to do a spreadsheet. I've had to do everything to try and keep up with everybody's requests. So here is the city of New York. We've got the bridge. Look at this. Just look at this. Let's just change. And I know I keep doing this, but everybody seems to love this view of New York when like the sun's going down or something like that. Look at that. I've never seen this level of realism anywhere. The Golden Gate Bridge. Again, if you're not subscribed to this channel already, I would highly recommend that you subscribe if you want to see more and more videos such as this. Leave me a comment, or a chat message obviously, with your request, and if I don't do it in this stream, it will be on a list, and it will be done. It will be done regardless of whether the simulator is released or not, or whether you can do it yourself or not. I will do that request for you. There are only so many requests that people can make, and they are on a list, and it gives me videos to do. So every idea that you guys have is an idea for me to do on the channel, so it helps me out as well. So let's just take a look at the actual city. Look at this, and we'll take a look at the Statue of Liberty as well, actually, in a moment. But look at this. Shanghai, yep, Shanghai is definitely on the list. That's been on the list for a long time. So I'm not sure how accurate this is. This looks like we've got some sort of like trees attached to maybe the textures on the buildings. That's weird. I mean, it might be ivy growing on them, I don't know, but it looks a bit strange. But the city of New York. And even this, I mean, I don't even know what that is. I've never been. I'd love to go to New York. I really would love to go to New York. This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal. Look at the detail there. Going through the streets. This is what I mean with the trees as well. There's a lot of trees. That's unusual. What the hell's happening there? Very, very strange. Very strange indeed, but Obviously from a top-down view you wouldn't really notice. Especially if you're like a decent distance, but look at that. Look at that for a view. The sun in the background. And let's have a listen to the ambient sounds. Let's go down and have a listen. Looks really horrible up close, look at that. I know Orbex have released what is it? The London pack? London Landmarks pack? Remember, you're not going to be flying 50 feet over New York. Yeah, exactly. So this is what a lot of people are saying. It's actually true. You're not really going to be at this level. I mean, the purpose of the simulator is not to do this. The only reason I'm doing this is obviously to show everybody what things actually look like up close and how much detail there is in the sim. But obviously, it's important to remember that you guys are not really going to be flying that close to the buildings. You're probably going to be like up here somewhere. So from this distance, it doesn't look bad at all. That's important to take note of. But I cannot get over how lovely this looks. So let's just take a look at it. Oh, we've got a boat. We've actually got a boat. We've got two boats. We've got several boats. Let's just have a look at how detailed the boats are. Up close, not very. It's not GTA 4, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a nice view if you go back there and sort of like do that. But I think everybody is looking for this, which is the Statue of Liberty. Look at that. This. I mean, look how detailed it is up close. That is amazing. I mean, you could even do like, you could do videos like where you do cinematics such as this, like... It just looks unbelievable. Are there crash animations? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think Microsoft or Asobo would really do something like that. I think that's a different type of simulator that you'd really be looking at. So one thing I wanted to do was look at the city of New York in wintertime, because I have always wanted to go to New York in the wintertime, like around Christmas. And I probably will never get to do that because it's insanely expensive to go. But I would still love to at least imagine I can. Look at this. New York at night. The lights are a little bit... I don't know, I mean... It doesn't look perfect, but that might be because I've just changed it the way that I've changed it, like live. But still, New York in the wintertime at night. Still looks reasonable. Let's have a look at what it looks like in the daytime. New York in the snow, and even the buildings have got snow on top of them. And here we go with another lag spike. We've got another lag spike, unfortunately. This will probably be similar to the other one. I cannot wait to get these new drivers installed. Because we've got drivers that have been released from Nvidia, so hopefully they will make a huge difference. Because it's actually frozen. There we go. Perfect. I get absolutely terrified every time because I think that it's actually going to, like, crash to desktop. But luckily it hasn't done that yet. It's currently raining in NYC. I wonder if the game real-time weather. Let's have a look. So let's go to live weather. Change the time a little bit, but it is on live weather. And it doesn't look like it's actually... Doesn't look like it's actually done it, does it? Oh, another lag spike. Now, the lag spike might be the weather loading in, because remember, we've just clicked live weather. So give it a few seconds. Obviously, we're suffering from a bit of a lag spike at the moment. And let's see if it's actually raining. No, it's not. Unfortunately. But we can always put that in manually. Not overcast. Rain. There we go. So that's raining. Again, look how terrible it looks up close. Another lag spike. I think we're going to have to change scenery areas, I think. We're definitely suffering from a lag spike. There's quite a few of those. So, that is New York. Let's go back to the main menu. This is so much fun. I mean, I only intended to do this stream until about 1 AM in the UK, which it's currently 20 past 1 nearly. But there we go. Now, with the Orbex sort of London, is it the London... what is it? The landmarks, that's it. I've installed those landmarks through the Orbex Central, and it doesn't show us installed inside the sim, and I think that's because I've not done it through the sim, I've done it through Orbex. So I'm going to go and see, we'll have a look at London City, and see if it looks any better, with, you know, see if it's got like the shard and stuff there. So we're just waiting for it to go back to the main menu at the moment. It can sometimes take a while. Can we see LA in the night? Yes, we certainly can. In fact, what I'll do, because obviously that's a request really, I'll do it now. We'll do LA first. See what it looks like at 5:19 PM. And then we will look at it in the night time. So it can take a while to load, because obviously this is, again, a very sort of complex and dense area. Was that the same music as in FSX? It certainly was, yes. That is an option. If you go into the, I think it's the sound options and the music, you can change it from like the default to, I think it's called, what is it now? It's Legacy, I think it's called. That's the Legacy music that we used to listen to every single time we started up FSX. Get an SSD? Yep, my system is full of them. What graphics are you running? I'm running the high preset with ultra for the clouds on a 1080p monitor. Right, well, you can't see much at all, so I'm going to go ahead and change the weather to clear skies a moment. We'll go back into the showcase camera. And we'll have a look at LA. So this is KLAX, which is a custom airport. And if we go down, you can see that. Look how stuttery it is, though. But this is the handcrafted KLAX. And it looks really good. Again, all these aircraft that you see here, these are actually there in real life. Obviously not, probably not these liveries. Unfortunately, as I said before, you can't choose any of these liveries for your particular aircraft at the moment, because, and I don't even think they're actually up to date or anything, I'm not sure, but you can't choose them, I'm afraid. That is liable to be due to the licensing problems and stuff like that. So this is KLAX. And it looks really, really good. Again, it's handcrafted. And it really does look handcrafted as well. Remember, we've got all the vehicles now set to max. So everything's starting to look really, really nice. In terms of traffic. Very, very low FPS. Well, it's not necessarily a low FPS, but it's just stuttery. But that's expected. We have a quick look at Leeds. Yes, we will have a look at Leeds Airport, either in this stream or on a full video on the channel. But yeah, it is an awesome rendition. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. KLAX. Get Xbox Game Pass if you want it cheap. Yeah, you can get it cheap through Xbox Game Pass. It's I think it's like a pound or $1 or something like that. And it's included. Can you change the auto-gen draw distance? There isn't actually a setting specifically for draw distance. I think it's one of the like render distances settings that you can choose, and I'm not exactly sure whether the system would handle it very well, because it's already quite dense at the moment. You definitely got my sub. Nice content. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So, let's take a look over here then. And I'm going to be exploring. I'll try and do this until about 2 AM UK time. See if these boats are rendered. Have we got some boats? No, they've just got some random shapes. What on earth is that? That looks like the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. I don't even think it's that good. My God. What graphics card do you have? I've got the 2080 Ti. Can we see East Midlands Airport? Yes, definitely. I'm going to be showing off a lot more of sort of the, you know, sort of East Midlands, Manchester, places like that. But I really wanted to explore the world as well, and the rest of the world. Can you fly the drone all around the world? I'm assuming so, yeah. We went up to like 1,000,000 feet in the air not so long since, so it lets you go quite far, so I'm assuming it would. There are no boundaries that I've managed to see, or what I've come across. How are you moving about in drone mode? I'm actually using the Xbox One controller, which is connected to my PC. This is pretty cool. Graphics aren't too good on that. I mean, look at that. But I'm assuming that's supposed to be like a theme park thing. That's meant to be a wheel. You've got to admit that somebody is bound to make some third-party scenery for this, because that is terrible. I mean, again, if you were up here like this sort of height, it wouldn't really matter that much. But I think there's a lot of improvement to be made. I mean, what the hell's going on there? They are meant to be trees, but it looks like something out of Avatar. That is very, very strange. So this is LA, everybody. Or the surrounding areas. Can you go up to Antarctica? Yep, you can definitely go up to Antarctica, I'm assuming. It looks bad because of the distance. Yeah, definitely. I bet a fix is coming soon. Yeah, it probably will be. There are 380 companies working on third-party add-ons. Absolutely, yeah. So we're probably going to see, much like we've seen the Orbex, like FTX Global, for example, or certain areas that they've released, like the LA areas, we're probably going to see the same sorts of things released for FS 2020 as well. So let's have a further look down here, because obviously this is all like the sort of urban sort of areas, if you will. I mean, some of the buildings, they look good at a distance, but you can see, look at that. That is just... That's just not good at all. What graphics card is needed to run at high or ultra? Well, I'm using a 2080 Ti. I'm not sure how it would run with a 1080 or something like that. I've no idea. Nighttime, please. Right, let's have a look at the nighttime then. Let's go to about 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. So this is what it looks like at sort of 9, whatever it is, at night. We've got a lag spike now, which is probably because we've just changed the time. There we go. Wasn't as long that time. But this is what it looks like at night time. Very stuttery. Which, again, I'm hoping that fix will work. Or the drivers. I'm not sure, because I can guarantee if I exit out of the sim right now and then go back into it, I can guarantee there will probably be like an update or something. But it does really, really look absolutely fantastic. Don't personally think that I've ever seen a simulator this detailed. Right, so another area that I wanted to see, and that I've recently purchased Orbex scenery for, is actually London City. Because apparently we've got the Shard, we've got all of these different landmarks from London that are now available in the simulator. We'll be able to go to Aldergrove Airport in Northern Ireland. Yes, if I don't do that in this particular video, or this particular stream, we'll definitely do that at some point in the near future on the channel. So stay tuned to the channel. Everybody who's making requests, if I don't do it in this stream, it will more than likely be done, or it will be done definitely, at some point on the channel, because I'm going through all the comments, I'm finding the requests, I'm adding them to a spreadsheet, and then I'm doing those requests in the sim. So whether that be in live streams, or it might well be in like just full flight videos or just normal YouTube videos. Visit New Zealand. I have actually visited New Zealand in the simulator. It's on the channel somewhere. Is there an extra update, even though I had pre-downloaded it? I think there probably will be like an update on, like, when it releases, the day that it I'm not sure. How do you get Orbex scenery on MF? Yeah, so you go to the Orbex Central app on your PC, and it should now, if you update it, it should ask you to update it, and Microsoft Flight Simulator should now be one of the options in there. Is this just a pre-order of the actual game? This is actually the release build for the simulator, so it's actually, I've had access to this for the past few days, courtesy of my friends over at Microsoft and at FlightSim.com. So I've been an alpha tester, a beta tester, and a preview build tester, if you can call it that, and obviously now we're on the early access version of the simulator. Do you reckon areas that are sparse, like Saudi Arabia, have some level of detail? Well, I'm assuming so, and the reason I say that is because obviously the scenery is entirely through sort of Microsoft Azure, isn't it? The music's very calming. Yeah, it is. It really is. Long loading time? Yeah, it's actually taken a while. It's taken a long while, in fact. Seems like the more videos we do, or the more separate flights that we do, it tends to take the longest, or take longer. You think they'll allow multiplayer VATSIM in the Xbox version? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's going to be slightly difficult to really go on VATSIM on the Xbox version of the sim. Unless, of course, you've got the, you know, additional controls and stuff like that. What's your bandwidth? My download speed is usually about 60 megabits per second, and the upload is about 15 megabits per second. This is taking a long time to load, actually. Is there a way to get it early? I'm afraid not. Not unless you've been a tester and you know, not unless you've been given access to it by Microsoft. So I'm actually going to use this time for a bathroom break, guys, so I will catch up with you in a few seconds. Okay, guys. So it looks as if for some reason we're stuck on an endless loop of loading. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly cancel the sim or exit the sim, and I'm going to come back to it again. So just bear with me a second as I sort it all out. I'm going to end the task and sort of come back into it. Right. Okay, so we're back in the simulator now, and we're going to see if it actually works this time. So what we were going to have a look at was, the marketplace doesn't appear to be available now. That's weird. It was available before. We're going to load into the world map, and because I've purchased the Orbex London City, we're actually going to go in and take a look at it. So EGLC London City. I couldn't remember the ICAO code. Obviously, we don't want to go into live. We want to go to a predefined time. We'll click go, or fly now. And we're going to take a look at London City in the simulator. And see if it actually works. What is Orbex? They are a third-party developer who make scenery and aircraft and things like that for simulators such as X-Plane, P3D, and now Microsoft Flight Simulator. They have made it for FSX as well. Welcome back, hope everything came out okay. Yeah, we managed to reload the sim, so hopefully this time when we load into it, we won't be having any issues. I'm hoping that it actually loads in. It might just be because it's like a very dense area. Right. So how many, what FPS are we getting? Remember, the first few seconds. There's 57 frames a second now, 56, something like that. Not very smooth on the panning, but that can change. There we go, that's better. We're back to normal now. Server issues? Yeah, it could have been server issues. It could have been down to the server. Let's go to the showcase. And let's have a look at some of these bits and pieces that Orbex have given us. So this is the airport, London City. Looking very nice. You can see the different bits and pieces that we've got around here. We're going to try and test everything out and see how it looks. So the airport itself, not sure, I mean it's very blurry around here, so obviously this is another area that will probably be worked upon. Show the liveries? There are no liveries. Not in the release version. The windsock, again this is something that we'd never really looked at, the windsock. So, Flight Simulator 2020 has a windsock which is actually animated properly. You should try some of the floating airports in Japan. Yeah, Japan's definitely something I'm going to be trying very, very shortly in the sim. Can my i7 70K run this sim GTX 970? I would recommend a few upgrades, really, because, I mean, although people have been pleasantly surprised by how certain hardware runs the sim, you might not be able to get away with the highest settings in the world, but, you know, it's I would recommend upgrading a little bit, but overall, you should get away with it. You'd be okay. So let's take a look over here. Ah, yeah, so it has installed. It has installed correctly. You can see that this is definitely custom modelled. This is all Orbex. Let's see how detailed we're looking here. Pretty detailed, really. Not perfect, but there we go. And the juicy stuff, let's get over to it. I have an i5 7400 and GTX 1660, 16 gigabytes of RAM. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, people come to me all the time saying, will this run it, will that run it? The best way to check is to, I think it's still called System Requirements Lab, but there's a website that basically will answer that question. You'll be able to go onto their website and it will tell you, can you run this game or can you run this simulator based on your specs, and yeah. So I'm not an expert on these things, unfortunately. But look at this. Look at the detail. What do you do if it says insert game disc? If you've got a disc version of the game, I would say insert the disc, but if not, then I'm not sure. It might be something that you'd have to contact Microsoft or Asobo customer services about. But the detail's really nice. I like this. Look at this. How fast is your Wi-Fi? Well, I'm actually running an Ethernet cable directly to my router. And my download speed is about 16 megabits per second, and my upload is about 15 megabits per second. But look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Are you on max? No, I'm actually on high. The only ultra setting I've got is the clouds. I've never really been a fan of putting everything to max. What on earth is going off there? Well, that's a weird hump. That's very weird. Very, very strange indeed. But there is a lot of detail. A lot of detail going off. Have we got a custom modelled boat? No, unfortunately we haven't. We've just got floating buildings. That's weird. The HSBC there. Water hills are a known issue. Yeah, definitely. I've seen them all the way from the alpha all the way through. So there's definitely something that's going to be fixed at some point, I'm assuming. There's the Barclays. But everything looks pretty nice. It's not 100%, but it's nice. How did you get the Orbex scenery already? I went into the marketplace and I purchased it. Or in fact, I actually went onto the Orbex Central app and purchased it. Ah, this is where things get juicy. Here we go. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. Try Ultra textures. To be honest, the Ultra is not much different to the High. I've tried all sorts of different textures settings. There's not much different, which is why I've sort of kept to the High setting, because, to be honest, it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't make that much of a difference. It just takes up more system resources. Some of these buildings are so sort of well done. And then some of them are a little bit less well done. So here's the London Eye. Which doesn't actually turn. I would have loved to see a version of this that actually turns. I'm not sure whether you can change any options in Orbex, sort of Central, to make that work, but it would be nice. There's Big Ben. Absolutely gorgeous. And the bridge and everything. It doesn't look very good though. These water hills, look at the water hills, they're really strange. And the cars are actually driving on the water as well. Definitely something that's on the fix list. But yeah, that is very strange, look at that. So, it's looking pretty good. But there are a lot of things that need fixing as well. That's the main problem, that there are a lot of things that need fixing. But again, things like this, I've always said, are to be expected, especially in the first version of the simulator like this. Stuff like this is definitely expected, and will more than likely be improved on. But it is looking absolutely gorgeous, really. Overall, let's take a look at it in sort of an evening time, like we do with most of the sceneries that we've looked at tonight, because evening time to me is absolutely gorgeous. And maybe if we change the weather to broken clouds. Oh, That's nice. Oops, and we've got another lag spike. Or is it a lag spike? Is it going to crash on me? Do you think the internet speed is more important than some hardware factors? Definitely not, no. I think the only issues that we see, or that we will see with internet speed, is the fact that things just literally might pop in and not load as quick as others. But it would be very unlikely that that would affect performance in any way. It's similar to problems that we've had in P3D, for example. P3D simply just loads black textures whenever it, when it's having trouble loading stuff. The textures are generally just black, so Sim doesn't actually suffer in any way. But this is absolutely gorgeous. So guys, this has been, we've been online now for a tremendous amount of time. Probably nearly 3 hours, something. Maybe 4, something like that. And it's been an absolute pleasure to go through a lot of different areas. And despite me saying that I wasn't going to take requests, we have taken a good few requests in this video. And I'm glad that we have, because we've seen a lot that this particular simulator can offer. And I cannot wait to get back to making the daily videos that I've been making as of late. Can't wait while obviously the Orbex scenery is improved and more stuff comes out from Orbex, as well as PMDG from Aerosoft. All the add-ons that we know and love. I cannot wait for them all to come to the simulator. Fly up for the ending? Yeah, I'm going to have to do that, aren't I? I'm going to have to go all the way up. I'm not sure whether people are aware, but there is a soap opera. Look at that. Oh my god. There's actually a soap opera here in the United Kingdom called EastEnders. And in the intro and outro of that, we actually see sort of like a top-down view of London, and it actually captures London City as well. London City, it's the speed, so set the speed, there we go. So I think, like the intro, we probably have to set the sky to like clear skies to be able to do it, and the time to like, yeah, that sort of time. So it's sort of like somewhere near this. Let me have a look, see if I can do it. I'm not going to do the music, obviously. Oh, a little bit of a lag spike. We'll wait while the lag spike passes. There we go. Right, so without further ado, here is my version of EastEnders. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content every single day, Monday to Friday, on Flight Simulator 2020. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.